Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Didye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge, text 23 on. So Krishna, in previous text, he said, those who worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. But in this verse he says, Ye api anya devata bhakta yajante shuddhyanvita te api mameva konteya yajanti avidhi purvakam. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. So for demigod worship, he has spoken earlier also. Now he is again speaking about demigod worship. Persons who are engaged in the worship of demigods are not very intelligent, although such worship is offered to me indirectly. Krishna says, for example, when a man pours water on the leaves and branches of a tree without pouring water on the root, he does so without sufficient knowledge or without observing regulative principles. So without sufficient knowledge, people can pour water on the leaves and the branches, but that will not help the tree grow. Similarly, the process of rendering service to different parts of the body is to supply food to the stomach. The demigods are, so to speak, different officers and directors in the government of the Supreme Lord. One has to follow the laws made by the government, not by the officers or directors. Similarly, everyone is to offer his worship to the Supreme Lord only. That will automatically satisfy the different officers and directors of the Lord. They'll automatically satisfy them. That's why there's a shloka in the scripture says, for Krishna's worship, Yasmin Tushte Jagat Tushta. If he is satisfied, everybody will be satisfied. But the problem is, well, one is people don't know that this is the process, this is the right process. And secondly, to satisfy Krishna, it's not easy. It's easy also at the same time, because he himself says in 9th chapter only, later on he'll say, Patram pushpam phalam toyam, yome bhaktya priyachati. But to come to that level of bhakti is difficult. To please him is not difficult. Bhakti then means only Krishna, serving Krishna, chanting. Navda Bhakti is there. We do that, and the demigods will be satisfied. There's I think I've told a story of Chandidas. So there was a person named Chandidas long before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bengal. He and his brothers, they used to live, they used to be neighbors, different houses, same neighbors, had a wall, boundary wall in between the two houses. And there was a flower tree on that boundary. So Chandidas was worshipper of Chandi. So he would take flowers from that tree and worship Chandi. And his brother was a Vaishnava, and he would take flowers from the tree and offer to a Shaligram Shila. So one day, his brother he offered the flowers to his Shaligram Shila, and he came back and left the flowers on that boundary wall. Chandidas got late that day and he didn't know his brother has already worshipped. So he picked up those flowers and he came and he offered to Chandi. And Chandi appeared. And Chandidas was, first of all, he was scared. And Chandi appeared and she was happy, Mother Chandi. And then she asked Chandidas, ask me for some boon. Chandidas said, how come you appeared today? Oh, you offered me flowers. Well, I've been offering you flowers for so many years. What did I do different today? Chandi said, because you offered me my Lord's remnants, flowers, the prashadi. That's why I'm very pleased with you. So Chandidas was surprised. So what remnants? Then Chandi told him that your brother had offered them to Shaligram and you offered me the same flowers. So Chandidas said, then you said, my Lord, so is he your Lord? She said, well, he's a Lord of all the demigods. So then Chandidas understood. He said, so if I worship him instead of worshipping you, is there going to be a problem? She said, no, we will be very happy if we worship him. So then Chandidas became a Vaishnava, became such a great devotee, and he was a poet, and he wrote books that even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would read those books. Mahaprabhu read only few books, Chandidas, Jayadev Goswami, Bilmangal Thakur, these books. So by serving, by worshipping Krishna, first of all, one is never a loser, and all the demigods are satisfied with him. Shivaji also, he engages his devotees in the service of Krishna, and he sees their motive, but he tries to engage them in the service of Krishna. But because we don't have knowledge, first of all, we think Krishna and all the demigods are the same. So you can worship anybody, and moreover, they don't want to worship Krishna because he doesn't give any material benefits so easily. He can give, but he doesn't give so easily. And the demigods, they are given these departments or these powers. Actually, they come from Krishna only to fulfill the material desires of their followers or worshippers. To a certain extent, not fully, completely, obviously not. And Shivaji, he is Ashutosh, he gets pleased very quickly and he gives these material benefits. But Krishna doesn't give what we want. Krishna gives what we need. That's a difference. So it's because people don't have this knowledge. And on the other hand, Karma Kand is better than atheism. So at least they're following something. That's good. It's okay. But it's not the best. And as Krishna says, they only worship me avidhi purvaka. Why he says that? The officers and directors are engaged as representatives of the government. And to offer some bribe to the officers and directors is illegal. This is stated here as avidhi purvaka. In other words, Krishna does not approve the unnecessary worship of the demigods. But then people ask these questions that Arjun also worshipped Durga and he got that got those weapons from her. And gopis also worshipped Katyayani. Katyayani is the Parvati. See, gopis worshipped Katyayani, but their purpose was to have Krishna as their husband. So they didn't have any material motive. And to get a nice husband, this is a There's a mention that one should worship Katyayani, or one should worship Shiva also to get a nice husband. And Arjun worshipped Mother Durga to get that weapon at the behest of Krishna. Krishna asked him to do that. And when Krishna says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam, whatever Krishna says, that is dharma. So for Arjun, it was okay because Krishna asked him to do. But it's not like a universal principle that anybody and everybody can. For us, of course, we are not supposed to disrespect the demigods. As Prabhupada said, they are the officers and directors of different departments in the material universe. So they are on a higher platform. But at the same time, worship is for Krishna. Bhakti is for Krishna. And that is what is going to take us out of this material. Ahami sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhareva cha natamam abhijananti tattve nataschevanti te. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. So I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Clearly, he is saying that. Here it is clearly stated that there are many types of yajna performances recommended in the Vedic literatures. But actually, all of them are meant for satisfying the Supreme Lord. Yajna means Vishnu. In the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that one should only work for satisfying Yajna or Vishnu. So sacrifice only for pleasure of Krishna or Vishnu. The perfectional form of human civilization, known as Varnashram Dharma, is specifically meant for satisfying Vishnu. Therefore, Krishna says in this verse, I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices because I am the supreme master. So all sacrifice doesn't mean sitting down and doing that havan, yajna. That is also one kind. But anything, any austerity, any sacrifice, any charity we perform, it should be for pleasure of Krishna. He's the master of everything. I'm the supreme master. Less intelligent persons, however, without knowing this fact, worship demigods for temporary benefit. Therefore, they fall down to material existence and do not achieve the desired goal of life. If, however, anyone has any material desire to be fulfilled, he had better pray for it to the Supreme Lord, although that is not pure devotion, and he will thus achieve the desired result. So it's not the pure devotion, but nevertheless, one should pray to the Supreme Lord, even for any material benefits. Sometimes people say, even for material benefits, or if one has some material difficulty, doesn't Krishna know that his devotee is going through material difficulty? Why should one pray to Krishna for that? Well, there are again different viewpoints. One is, yes, Krishna knows. And the devotee, no, I'm not going to say that one is advanced and one is not. A devotee can think that Krishna knows everything, and whenever he wants to take me out of this pain, let it be so. On the other hand, if a devotee prays to Krishna to remove these problems, to help him, then he has developed that relationship with Krishna. Krishna likes it when a devotee asks him for help because he has developed that relationship, then developed that faith in Krishna, that Krishna will take care of me. They're both ways. Both are correct. I'm not saying anybody is less of not. But they both are correct. And there has been instances of both. Draupadi, when she was in trouble, she looked around at her husbands, Bhish Pitama, everybody. And then when she was getting disrobed, she was holding on to her sari with one hand, and with one hand she was praying to Krishna. Krishna didn't come. As soon as she because she was still relying on her strength, as soon as she let go of her both hands, she was not holding on to sari. Both hands she raised, ask Krishna, protect me. Krishna appeared right away. And then he took that sari avatar. It became unlimited sari. Dushasana could only take off few meters of sari, but Krishna, when Krishna is there, it became unlimited sari. So was Draupadi not a pure devotee when she asked for help? No, she is a pure devotee. But she, out of her relationship with Krishna, she asked for help. So Krishna takes this as a relationship. Yes, my devotee is in trouble and he's asking me because of his love, his or her love for me. I should go and help. Krishna knows everything. What is it that he doesn't? But this is what makes us closer to Krishna. And many other instances. Now somebody can say that Prahlad Maharaj did not ask for Nrsimhadev. He did not ask for Nrsimhadev's protection, but he had that relationship with Hiranyakashipu. Asked him, do you see your Lord in this pillar? He said, yeah, I see him in this pillar. So they both are pure devotees. But the relationship, that makes it sweeter. That's all. And further Krishna says, those who think that whatever we do, the result is the same. We're going to get to spiritual part. No, Krishna says, Yanti deva vrita deva, pitrin yanti pitrivrita, bhutani yanti bhuteja, yanti mad yajino api mam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors, Pitriloka. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Clearly he's saying that. It's not like every road goes to the same place. No. Every road goes to Krishna Loka in the sense that maybe somehow or other one will get some mercy of devotees and then he'll take up the path to bhakti. Path of bhakti. It's not that we are worshipping demigods and asking for all sorts of material benefits, and then at the end of the day we think we are going to Golok Vrindavan. No. If one has any desire to go to the moon, the sun, or any other planet, one can attain the desired destination by following specific Vedic principles recommended for that purpose, such as a process technically known as Darsha Purnamasi. These are vividly described in the fruitive activities portion of the Vedas or Karmakanda, which recommends a specific worship of demigods situated on different heavenly planets. So first of all the planets that we see in the at night in the sky, all the stars, they're different planets of different demigods. So there are 33 crore demigods. So maybe one demigod is occupying more than one planet. Who knows? So there are going to be at least 33 crore planets, but there could be more. Similarly, one can attain the Pita planets by performing a specific yajna. But see, specific yajna. Yajna is supposed to be for satisfaction of Vishnu. And actually, no yajna is complete without Lord Vishnu being present there. Just like when in any yajna, we keep this lota and we keep the coconut on top. That represents Vishnu. But now it's up to the performer of the yajna, whether he's doing for the satisfaction of Vishnu or whether he's doing for some other purpose. And the result will also come from Vishnu through whatever demigod we are worshipping. Similarly, one can go to many ghostly planets and become a yaksha, rakshas, or pishach. See, even that is possible, ghostly planet, because people like to do this black magic. So they're worshipping these yakshas, rakshas, pishach. Pishach worship is called black arts or black magic. There are many men who practice this black art and they think it is spiritualism, but such activities are completely materialistic. And not just materialistic, lowest grade. Because black magic, when one does, basically it's not for somebody's benefit. It's to hurt somebody in some way. And then the result is what? One goes to those ghostly planets and live there. And then what? After he dies over there, what is going to happen to him? He's in so much of ignorance. He's definitely going to take some lower animal body. So what's the use? What's the point? There are many men who practice this black art. Similarly, a pure devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead only achieves the planets of Vaikuntha and Krishna Lok without a doubt. It's just achieving Golok or Krishna Lok, Vaikuntha. It's not that easy. But doing this black magic, it gives immediate results. For doing deity worship or demigod worship, it gives results after some time, not immediately. So that's why people get attracted to all this. And why? Because the knowledge is missing. It takes time to come to the level of pure devotional service. But Krishna himself says, one who comes to my planet, he doesn't take birth again in the material world. But this is not true for taking birth in demigod planets or this yaksha or pitriloka. One has to come back and go up, down again and again all over the universe, different species of life. It is very easy to understand through this important verse that if by simply worshipping the demigods, one can achieve the heavenly planets, or by worshipping the Pitas, achieve the Pita planets, or Pitriloka, or by practicing the black arts, achieve the ghostly planets. Why can the pure devotees not achieve the planet of Krishna or Vishnu? So they do achieve, they will achieve. Unfortunately, many people have no information of these subtle or sublime planets where Krishna and Vishnu live. And because they do not know of them, they fall. So simple. Even the impersonalists fall down from Brahma Jyoti, because that is not a permanent position for the soul. The Krishna consciousness movement is therefore distributing sublime information to the entire human society to the effect that by simply chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one can become perfect in this life and go back home, back to God. In this life, Prabhupada is telling us. So it is possible. By simply chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one can go back. So why waste time doing it, something else and going somewhere else and then again coming back? Even from Brahmajyoti, one has to fall down. So why waste time? But the problem is we think that is a permanent solution, but it's not. That's what we've been told, it's permanent solution. It's not. And to worship Krishna, so easy. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadam bhakti upritam ashnami prayatatmanam. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept. Is it possible to do so in demigod worship? No, there are so many rituals, rules to follow. But here, Krishna, just offer me with love and devotion. That's a key word, love and devotion. For the intelligent person, it is essential to be in Krishna consciousness, engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, in order to achieve a permanent, blissful abode for eternal happiness. The process of achieving such a marvelous result is very easy and can be attempted even by the poorest of the poor without any kind of qualification. The only qualification required in this connection is to be a pure devotee of the Lord. It does not matter what one is or where one is situated. The process is so easy that even a leaf or a little water or fruit can be offered to the Supreme Lord in genuine love, and the Lord will be pleased to accept that. And it doesn't even, Krishna doesn't even say you have to grow your own fruits or leaves or flowers. No, we can get flower from anywhere and offer it to Krishna with love and devotion. Actually, in the beginning days when ISKCON was just established, devotees, they just didn't know any better. So they read this, and so they were going to the neighbors' houses and stealing flowers from there and offering to Krishna. And the neighboring ladies, they were like, where do our flowers go? Because here, we don't have fences normally. It's open, there are no fences between two houses. But we respect everybody's property, we don't just barge in. So devotees would go, pick up flowers and offer to. So when Prabhupada found out, he was upset. He said, no, at least take permission. And homeowners generally give permission because they are not using those flowers for any purpose except decoration. So they would give permission. But the thing is, it's not that we have to have our own garden of flowers and leaves. When it talks about leaves, basically it talks about tulsi leaf. And little water. Krishna doesn't say, give me mineral water or filtered water. Any water, just give it with love. Of course, those who want to serve him with love, they want to do the best they can. Best kind of flowers or fruits and seasonal fruits. Like other day we were studying Chaitanya Charitamrita and Nectar of Devotion, it is mentioned, one should offer seasonal fruits to the deities. Whatever season is going on, whatever fruits are available, one should offer, and the best quality. But Krishna is pleased. That's um, just like in Jagannath Puri, there was this devotee. He was born in a low caste family, Dasiya, Bhakta Dasiya. Actually, when we go from Bhubaneswar to Puri, there is a sign, although I haven't been to that. There's a sign, it says to the village of Bhakta Dasiya, something like that, it says. So that Bhakta Dasiya was living there. And he was a great devotee of Jagannath. So one day, because he was not allowed inside for some reason in the temple, so he could not go inside the temple. So one day, one Brahman was going from his village to Jagannath Puri. I guess it was Rath Yatra time. So Bhagdasya gave him some mangoes, and he asked the Brahman to offer the mangoes to Lord Jagannath. Somehow when that Brahman went, either the darshan were closed or he was not allowed in, some details are there. So he just offered from outside, from the Singhdwar, even outside on the road. He just took those fruits, mangoes in his hand. He just prayed to the Lord. He said, Bhakta Dasya has sent you, and please accept. Pujaris, some pandas were there and they were saying, what are you doing? We don't offer to Lord Jagannath like this. So he said, no, I just offered. And when the pujaris went inside, they saw all those mangoes, and not just full mangoes. They were like Jagannathji had eaten them, and his face was, I mean, the pulp was there on his face, some skin was on the floor, some seeds were on the floor. All those mangoes were accepted by Lord Jagannath. This is Lord. He can accept anything and everything if we offer it with love. And I mean, of course, not anything, not just we offer meat, start offering meat. That's not okay. But he, out of love, he can accept things offered by his devotees. And he shows that also. No one, therefore, can be barred from Krishna consciousness because it is so easy and universal. Who is such a fool that he does not want to be Krishna conscious by this simple method and thus attain the highest perfection life of eternity, bliss, and knowledge? Krishna wants only loving service and nothing more. Krishna accepts even a little flower from his pure devotee. He does not want any kind of offering from a non-devotee. He is not in need of anything from anyone because he is self-sufficient, and yet he accepts the offering of his devotee in an exchange of love and affection. So he is not in need of anything, any material thing from anyone. He is self-sufficient. But there is only one thing that he is also lacking: our love for him. That he doesn't have. And that's what he wants us to give him. To develop Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection of life. Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse in order to declare more emphatically that bhakti or devotional service is the only means to approach Krishna. No other condition, such as becoming a Brahman, a learned scholar, or a very rich man, or a great philosopher, can induce Krishna to accept some offering. Without the basic principle of bhakti, nothing can induce the Lord to agree to accept anything from anyone. without the basic principle of bhakti is never causal. The process is eternal. It is direct action in service to the absolute. So bhakti is never causal, means nothing can cause bhakti. It's not dependent on anything. And the Prabhupada said the process is eternal. It's just we have forgotten it, that's all. The process is there, the relationship is there, everything is there, we've forgotten. Here Lord Krishna, having established that he is the only enjoyer, the primeval Lord, and the real object of all sacrificial offerings, reveals what types of sacrifices he desires to be offered. If one wishes to engage in devotional service to the Supreme in order to be purified and to reach the goal of life, the transcendental loving service of God, then one should find out what the Lord desires of him. One who loves Krishna will give him whatever he wants, and he avoids offering anything which is undesirable or unasked for. So, service, yes, service means loving service, and probably loving service of God. So, service means to please the Master, to do things whatever he wants us to. Not that I want to offer you meat and this and that, and then I want to eat. No, Krishna never asked for this. Sometimes people make comments that, oh, Krishna only asks for patram pushpam phalam toyam, flower, fruit, leaf, and little water. Why do you make so many great offerings? Chapan bhog for Krishna. Krishna never asked. No, Krishna, here he asks for patram pushpam phalam toyam. The other scriptures describes more, and then we are not supposed to interpret on our according to our mindset. We're supposed to follow the acharyas, gurus. And if they say you offer this, you make this, and then you do this, we do that. But it has to be, the conditions are vegetarian, no onion, no garlic, those kind of conditions. So one who loves Krishna will give him whatever he wants, and he avoids offering anything which is undesirable or unasked. Thus, meat, fish, and eggs should not be offered to Krishna. If he desired such things as offering, he would have said so. Instead, he clearly requests that a leaf, fruit, flowers, and water be given to him. And he says of this offering, I will accept it. Therefore, we should understand that he will not accept meat, fish, and eggs. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk, and water are the proper foods for human beings and prescribed by Lord Krishna himself. Whatever else we eat cannot be offered to him, since he will not accept it. Thus, we cannot be acting on the level of loving devotion if we offer such foods. So love means to please, and to serve. Serve means to please him, to do whatever he wants. In the 3rd chapter, verse 13, Krishna explains that only the remains of sacrifice are purified and fit for consumption by those who are seeking advancement in life and release from the clutches of the material engagements. Those who do not make an offering of their food, he says in the same words, are eating only sin. So those who do not make an offering of their food are eating only sin. So sometimes other religion, they say, they not just make no offering, but they're eating all sorts of nonsense and thinking this is the best thing. But no, Krishna says he's eating only sin if he's not making an offering. And offering is what? Offering of patram pushpam phalam toyam. In other words, their every mouthful is simply deepening their involvement in the complexities of material nature. Every mouthful. By preparing nice, simple vegetable dishes, offering them before the picture or deity of Lord Krishna, and bowing down and praying for him to accept such a humble offering, enables one to advance steadily in life, to purify the body, and to create fine brain tissues, which will lead to clear thinking. So, this is what prasadam does. Above all, the offering should be made with an attitude of love. Krishna has no need of food, since he already possesses everything that we. Yet, he will accept the offering of one who desires to please him in that way. Yet, he will accept the offering of one who desires to please him. The important element in preparation, in serving, and in offering is to act with love for Krishna. That's the important ingredient. The impersonalist philosophers who wish to maintain that the absolute truth is without senses cannot comprehend this verse of Bhagavad Gita. So the Mayavadis who say he doesn't have form. So if he doesn't have form, why would he say he accepts if somebody makes an offering with love? To them, it is either a metaphor or proof of the mundane character of Krishna, the speaker of Bhagavad Gita. But in actuality, Krishna, the Supreme Godhead, has senses, and it is stated that his senses are interchangeable. In other words, one sense can perform the function of any other. This is what it means to say that Krishna is absolute. So one sense can perform the means of other senses. That is why when Krishna says, I accept it, but when we offer bhoga to Krishna, the bhoga is as it is in the plate. When did Krishna accept it? Or why he didn't eat it? He ate it through his eyes. He doesn't have to sit down like that, of course. Sometimes he does that also, if he wants to. But he can accept it with his eyes. He can eat with his eyes. Again, he can still make the plate full after he has eaten it. We just have to have faith that he has accepted. Lacking senses, he could hardly be considered full in all opulences. In the 7th chapter, Krishna has explained that he impregnates the living entities into material nature. This is done by his looking upon material nature. And so, in this instance, Krishna's hearing the devotee's words of love in offering foodstuffs is wholly identical with his eating and actually tasting. This point should be emphasized because of his absolute position. His hearing is wholly identical with his eating and tasting. Only the devotee who accepts Krishna as he describes himself without interpretation can understand the supreme absolute truth, can eat food and enjoy it also. So only a devotee can understand this. Nobody else can. But he does accept. He eats also. It doesn't say he doesn't eat. He eats. And see, more love we develop for him, more reciprocation will be there from his side also. And many times he tells at night when we are sleeping in a dream that tomorrow I want to eat this, prepare this. So he can do whatever he wants. But this is what makes the bhakti so sweet, so relishable, that the relationship is very sweet. And not just food-wise, when we are serving the deities, when we are dressing them up. If he or even Radharani, if they don't want to wear something, No matter what we do, what we try, they're going to keep on dropping it. They just don't want to wear it. But that is that is the sweet part. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Wonderful, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
प्रभु जी मैं ये सब एक्सपीरियंस कर चुकी हूँ जगन्नाथ जी के साथ।
I know जगन्नाथ जी और लड्डू गोपाल, ये दो तो बाप रे बाप।
बहुत
This is
एक्सपीरियंस है।
this is true. This is really true.
प्रभु जी एक इंसिडेंस तो ये हुआ कि मैंने ना टेम्पल नहीं साफ किया, मतलब कुछ कुछ ऐसा हुआ कि मैं एवरी संडे मतलब करती हूँ, मैं एक संडे मिस हो गया मुझसे। ओहो, उसके बाद एक संडे और मिस हो गया। कुछ हुआ ऐसा कि वो लगातार मेरे को 15-20 डेज हो गए टेम्पल क्लीन। और जिस मैं रोज सोचती थी अच्छा आज जरूर हो जाना चाहिए, आज जरूर होना। जब इतना हो गया ना, 2 वीक्स हो गए ना, थर्ड वीक में मेरे हाथ से पूरा दूध का गिलास मंदिर में इतना बड़ा दूध का गिलास और पूरा लुढ़क गया मेरे अपने हाथ से। ओ गॉड, वो पूरा इतना सा फैल गया मेरे को इट टुक मी 2 आवर्स टू क्लीन इट। समझ रही मैं क्या बेटा, बहुत ज्यादा गुस्सा है वो। ऐसे तो करेगी नहीं, रोज डाल रही है आज कुछ करो।
Oh yeah, they can do
पूरा गिलास
that.
वहां में भी गिरा, भोग में भी गिर गया, भोग भी खराब हो गया, सब कुछ खराब और पूरे मंदिर में दूध दूध फैल गया वो। उसके बाद से तो आगे एक श्योर कुछ करूँ ना करूँ, संडे के संडे क्लीनिंग जरूर है, फिर कुछ ना कुछ गिर जाएगा।
Oh yeah, they do that. They do that all the time. It's so crazy.
बहुत होता है, कुछ नहीं खाना हो तो सब्जी जल जाएगी, वही कुछ अपने मन पसंद का
हाँ
बना लो तो
हाँ,
पता नहीं कहाँ दिमाग चला जाता है, वो सब्जी जल गई, स्मेल भी आ रही है फिर भी नहीं आ रहा कि समझ नहीं क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा, जाके देखो भाई फिर चलो छोड़ो, फिर दूसरा बनाओ। बोरिंग सी सब्जी होगी, डोंट वांट टू ईट, ऐसा रोज एक खिला देती है। एक्सपीरियंस तो मुझे काफी अच्छे से हो चुके हैं ऐसे, वो रोज ही होते रहते हैं तो मुझे कुछ ना हफ्ते में एक दिन
Hmm.
कुछ
Hmm.
चलता रहता है।
yeah. But यही
Nice,
तो
हाँ
यही तो bliss है। यही तो
यस
sweetness है।
यस यस
और किसी और को समझाओ तो उसके समझ में नहीं आएगा, क्या
नहीं
क्या है।
आएगा, नहीं आएगा, नहीं आएगा,
Hmm.
नहीं आएगा।
हर आदमी ये फील भी नहीं करता, हर एक के
No,
बस की बात नहीं है।
no.
दैट इज
और
ट्रू।
जैसे ही वो दूध गिरा मेरे को एक सेकंड भी नहीं लगा, आई थिंक हाफ ऑफ द सेकंड मेरे को समझ आ गई, मैंने कहा बेटा ये हो गया तेरा काम। तुमने बहुत दिनों से टाल रही थी ना, अब तो अब करो, सब कुछ छोड़ के अब करो। पहले इसको करो अब।
अभी एक बार मैं बाहर गया हुआ, लेट हो गया, अंधेरा, जनरली मैं लाइट जलाता हूँ, उस दिन मुझे लगा जल्दी आ जाऊंगा, घर कमरे की लाइट नहीं जल रही। वापस आया तो बड़ा फील हुआ लाइट नहीं जल रही, तो लाइट जला के दरवाजा जैसे ही बंद किया, जो कैप थी, जो वो कैप उतर गई। मैं कहा आज इतने गुस्से में है ये, इतने गुस्से में है ये। और उस दिन से प्रण कर लिया कि लाइट तो हमेशा ही जलती रहेगी, चाहे दिन हो या रात हो। अब दिल में भी कहीं बाहर जाओ तो लाइट तो जलती रहेगी, लाइट नहीं बंद होगी।
हाँ,
और अगर लड्डू गोपाल है तो उसके पास कुछ खिलौने हमेशा रखना।
अच्छा, ओके,
हाँ, आपको नहीं बताया क्या मैंने?
नहीं 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 मालूम था।
छोटे छोटे
हाँ
खिलौने जो होते हैं ना,
हाँ हाँ हाँ,
हम्म, हम्म,
डिपेंड कितना साइज है लड्डू गोपाल का, उस हिसाब से
ओके।
वो हमेशा रखना है, नहीं तो उसको खेलना है ना, वो अकेला बैठ के क्या करेगा, खेलना ही।
बस
तो नहीं तो गुस्सा गुस्सा होता है, बहुत गुस्सा होता है।
हाँ गुस्से
अच्छा।
बहुत। हाँ
थोड़ा सा दे, आधा आधा तू ले,
अच्छा अच्छा।
बस बस। थैंक
ये
यू।
भी लाना पड़ेगा, ये लेके आओ। गुड। अच्छा।
तेरे पास नहीं है चाय? प्रिया इतनी थी ही नहीं।
अंजलि माता जी
अभी म्यूट कर लो।
प्रिया इतनी
मुझे नहीं
चाहिए ही
मालूम।
नहीं ना, तो क्यों बना रही है?
वो हम लोगों
यार
के लिए बना रही है माता जी, हम लोगों के लिए।
हाँ, पूरी क्लास में बहुत लोग हैं, सब पियेंगे। थक गए हैं क्लास अटेंड करके। मुझे टॉयज का नहीं पता था। अच्छा होगी। ओके।
हाँ, टॉय जो भी बच्चों के होते हैं ना, छोटे छोटे,
हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ जी।
इनको चाहिए होते हैं।
हम्म।
और लड्डू गोपाल को, बाकी को नहीं। और भूख लगती है उसको दिन में तो, मतलब मैं, जैसे छोटा सा वाटर पॉट है, वो थोड़ा सा ड्राई फ्रूट कटोरी होती है, तो वो रख देता हूँ वहीं। हालांकि मेरे पास लड्डू गोपाल नहीं है, बट स्टिल लाइक एकदम दिन में कोई भूख लगे तो खा लेना।
तो वही कभी कभी ना प्रॉपर फूड जैसे नहीं बनता, ब्रेड सैंडविच से ही काम चला, तो ब्रेड सैंडविच का भी भोग लगा देते हैं, दैट इज फाइन राइट।
अब प्रॉपर ने ब्रेड के लिए तो मना किया, बाहर की कुक्ड।
अच्छा।
हालांकि फ्रूट्स है, ड्राई फ्रूट्स है, ये तो लगा ही सकते हैं।
तो वो तो डेली ऑफरिंग और डेली होती है, वो तो मतलब सारा दिन तो वो रहते ही है, सुबह के जो
हाँ,
फ्रूट्स हैं।
सी
लेकिन
ब्रेड के लिए ठीक है, हम लोगों के इधर खानी है तो हम मन ही मन ऑफर करें।
अच्छा मनी मनो पकड़, हाँ
हाँ,
ठीक है।
आई नो। अब वो हर टाइम तो हमारे साथ तो हो नहीं सकता कि कुक फूड
या
खिला।
चल
तो ब्रेड का यही है कि मन ही मन ऑफर करके।
जी ठीक है।
ठीक है, चलो भाई,
बढ़िया।
ऑल सेफ एंड वंडरफुल। हरे कृष्ण, जय
थैंक यू
श्री राम।
प्रभु, हरे कृष्ण।